So, it's the 28th January 2030. My name is Josi and I'm doing a fan interview for Rock.de. And here with me is...
Bazie from the 69 Eyes.
So, Bazie, then I would say we start. I saw you at the signing session a few hours ago at the Extract shop, and I saw that you talked to fans. So I would like to know, how do you feel about the concert tonight? Do you think the fans will go crazy tonight?
Hopefully, but it's Germany. Usually, it's depending on if you have festivals or you play own shows. You never know. I hope that people are gonna go crazy, but I think our audience is more like listening to the songs and getting in the mood. So it's not like that. It depends, But hopefully they like the music, new stuff.
Hopefully. Then how does it start with your music? Who influenced you? Who you started with? Which band?
It was more like garage rock when we started 16 Hours with Jerky, and then it evolved to more like how would I say it was more like some hard rock influences there, and then it became darker. We wanted to concentrate on like I wouldn't say this gothic, but actually we did the Blessed Be album, but that was on purpose to emphasize the gothic elements on our music. So, and that was basically just to do with the production values, how you do it wasn't that much that the songs changed, but how you produce it and what kind of atmosphere you're going to put on the record. So basically my personal influences there, it was more like a punk rock and like the Cult and that kind of bands, and it was more like the rock side what I'm bringing in, and I like our bass player Archie. He's like most gothic guy in the band, and Josi is a party animal. He's loving. Yeah, it's like we have mixed like influences. So it's like we did the last album. It was mostly like built around Jyrki's voice, and get the vibe from there. So I wouldn't say that there's the one band or one artist this is like influenced us the most. For Jyrki, it's the Elvis, definitely. So
that's cool.
We played some Doors, and it's like, but if I would say one band which was this influence to us, maybe I would say the Cult. That's like
really
that's
good band.
That's like gave some kind of formula how to do it. So I would say definitely if one band is the Cult.
So, in which band did you play first, or was the 16 Eyes the first band you ever played in?
No, actually no. I was. There were a couple of 3 or 4 bands like when I was a teenager when I started playing, and actually I'm not from Helsinki original. I moved there when I was 18. So before that I had a couple of different bands, and we started with Jyrki. We had a band, but it was a different name, and it was the 16 Hours first, and then it kind of disbanded. We did only a couple of shows, and then we started the 16 Hours one by one, adding the member. The Josi was the last one. First one was Timo, then Archie, and then Josi. Yeah.
Do you remember the first song you ever played, or the first gig you ever played?
Yeah, that was in the school, high school party where I played. So yeah, I remember that this school I couldn't play. It was like shit, but you get the vibe. But this is something I would like to do in the future. So definitely it was. I remember that very well. So.
When you started your career, did you have people who stand behind you, or were there people who said you will never make it with your music?
Yeah, of course. No, I wouldn't say there was like not that kind of thing. But when I was really young, and then it was like it was more. It's same as nowadays. When you start playing, it's more like concentrate on technique, how good you play, I think we are like nobody from our band is like technically that like we are good as a band. Like nobody. We are like equal that way. What do I is plays and sing. So, but I think we did a long time We just did it for ourselves, so that we were the, and we have all the time we have heard that Josi, a lot of critics has been like, they don't, it's never come anything and you suck and whatever, but but then the success came, like some success came at with the Blessed Be album, so after that, but it's still like, we do it for ourselves, and if we are happy, so it's always like, that there's somebody who doesn't like your stuff somehow.
But you're real successfulness, so I guess you proved them wrong. So
yeah, but it hasn't been that, like, we never listened to anybody. Everybody said, that's I think with most of the bands, and you had to just believe in yourself to do what you want to do. So if it goes somewhere, it doesn't. It's like, you always have some goal, not like, anything to do with the success, but like we're in the band, we have set like what we want to do. It's like writing that kind of song, so going to play some countries, and it's the small things. You have to please yourself first and foremost.
Then tell me, how was the experience compared from the time you started with the music and compared to now? Is it a different feeling to play on stage?
I wouldn't say the only thing that has the same is the playing live, I would say. But of course it just changed because it's more like it's more bigger setup, and more. We have more like we started, we didn't have anybody working for us. We just travel ourselves and didn't have any crew or anything. So of course it's built up that way. Like we took, then we were traveling with the van, and now we have a bus, and that way the actual playing on the stage and the vibe from playing is like the same, but of course everything else has changed with the music business. So, but this is the only thing that I think still has the same value.
Okay. Then how important is the feedback from your fans to create an album or maybe a live show? Is it important to you?
What do you mean? Tell me again.
The fans, when they give you feedback from the show or the albums, is it important for you to create an album or a live show?
Yeah, sure. Because you always like, as I said, first and foremost you do it for yourself, but of course you want to hear what people think of the stuff, and of course in the long run it doesn't. You do what you want to do, but I really like to hear, what was this, especially from the records, because that's because live shows that they're different there, different. It's like varies all the time, but the records are there forever. So, but I really want to hear, of course it affects. We want to do. That's the other thing, to keeping your fans happy, because that's why we are here anyway.
So then tell me, what can a fan expect from a 6 Eye show if they never seen you ever before?
They can expect that varies every night, but what they can expect, I think so that's really like, if you like our albums, though, we are more concentrated. We don't play actually any songs from our first 4 albums now, so it's everything from Blessed Be onwards. So if you like that music, it's like, and I think it's good because you never know what's going to happen. What mood. And sometimes we are like really like concentrating and playing and really like create the mood. Sometimes it's more like a party, so it's either way. But we give the live show. There's songs you can rock out and songs you can listen to. Just it's both ways. I think we want to have the balance.
Is there a difference from playing in your home country or in other countries?
Yeah, usually I say that it's the same, but it's different. As I said, the first question that like here in German, it seems like people are anyway more like listen to the music, and get the vibe from that. And some, like in Finland, it depends. If you play at the weekends and there people are more like drunk and there's more like a party, they go to. I like go to South America. It's more crazier there than anywhere else. The UK is different. The US is different. So every country is a little bit different to how the people react. So we have played. It was always when you first time in some country, then it's like what happened. Boy. It's either way, you know. People go really crazy, or then they are like just listen to the stuff and really like quiet, and you know. So definitely it's a different, you know. And in Finland, we are more like a mainstream kind of band. Anyway, it's not the music, but it's of course we are like a drummer. Josi is like a celebrity in his own, so he's like a TV shows, and so there are a lot of people come to see the guy who is on TV. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a different kind of crowd that way. So definitely. And here it's more like, and everywhere else it's more like it's music fans who just come and dig the music. And in Finland it can be not half, but 1/3 of the crowd just come to see the guy with the funny hair, the drum behind the drums, if you know what I mean. So not the singer.
And now a really serious question: is the Finnish beer different to the German beer? Please tell us the truth.
It's a different, yeah. It's a different. It's more light in Finland. It's lager kind of. It's a different taste. You know, it's more bitter here.
And which do you prefer, the German or the Finnish beer?
I like both, but actually now we have in the rider we have a Mexican beer, so that's like our choice now on this tour, or be lately in this year. So Mexican beer, American
like
beer.
Corona?
Yeah, something. Yeah. It varies. We change it, so but definitely that way.
Okay, then what do you think about the subgenres in the rock metal scene? Do you think they have changed a lot, and do you think there are too many subgenres right now?
Actually, it doesn't in the long run doesn't matter, but there are a lot of bands, and it's really hard to stand out because I'm like totally lost that touch. Was not totally lost, but it's to be honest, I'm not sure all the subgenres even what's happening there. But if you have good music, it doesn't matter what genre you are in. That's actually. We've been doing this so long, and I've heard so much music, and so it's really hard to get. I haven't heard any that exciting music lately. So, but it doesn't matter in that sense. Good music is good music, whatever subgenre is it. But I cannot even tell all these subgenres. What do you mean? You know?
So then, how should a newcomer band start in the music scene? So should they have a management and a booker? Is it necessary for them, or should they start like learning by doing?
They should start doing by themselves, because that's where you learn the most. Just book your gigs yourself, drive the band. It's always when you get a little bit of success, there are a lot of people who want to work with you, and because of course they say, oh, there's money. Okay, we'll come steal it from you. But that's the way you can avoid all those people who are going to rip you off. Because you need to know how the things go, and then you can appreciate it later if you. Of course, if you have some help, but it's always. But I would say that it's better to work with people who really want to work with you. If you just hire somebody to do it, it's better to do it by yourself, because whoever it is the manager or booking agent when you're new and upcoming band, they're not gonna make money. They have to be the same level as the band, because work with the same passion, and because they won't get the money either. So to do it by yourself, that's my.
So would you say a crowdfunding project is a good thing when the fans give you money to produce maybe an album or something like this?
Yeah, sure. If that's the only way to do it, because everything has changed so much. So But that's where you need the fan base anyway. First, where you get it. If you don't have, that's really tough one. You have to have like a fan base already, and then it's easier to if you don't have it. But it's a good thing. But there are not so many bands that it has worked very well, I think, if I understand it correctly. So, but it's a good thing, you know. But people always forget it, like, you know, that these bands who do it, like, in the first place, they have had record companies before who have promoted you and get you known, and then you have the fans. So if you're coming band, you don't have any fans, it's really can be really hard. So I think the only way is just to pay yourself.
That's hard.
But if you have fans, but you must be touring hard, you know, doing the gigs. But to previous question, I would say at some point it's good to find a booking agent. I think that's more important in the first place to get good shows, and you know, but you can do it by yourself anyway. So then you will get fans and they can on your record.
Now the questions of all questions. What is worse for a band, losing a vocalist or an instrumentalist?
I think the vocalist, you cannot. It's really hard to replace. You know, that it's impossible. Like we had to cancel shows because his voice was gone, and we have like our drummer Josi. One time he got into hospital surgery, and then we cancelled some shows. But then we just find a replacement drummer because we couldn't cancel all the shows. So there were a lot of shows booked, and we played with another drummer. But I think with the vocalist doesn't work because it's, as I said, it's so much. Our stuff is so much a person. Everything is around Jyrki's vocals and his voice. Mm-hmm. That's the trademark, I would say. Yeah, of course, the music is trademark, but that's like half of it, Jyrki's voice. So if it's somebody else is singing, because I've seen like this, there are some, you can find it on the YouTube, this 69's cover bands. So it's different.
But there are some bands who had changed the vocalist and they were still good, like Skid Row. What do you think about bands like this, or Nightwish?
Nightwish, I think they have, because it's more like it's not so person. The voice with Nightwish vocalists, all of them, I would say that it's not so. It's personal what they had, but I think it's more like they just have the female vocals there. I don't know if they have done it, but I know it's a good exception. But there are some bands, but you know, it's good if you don't get the success, then you change the vocalist. But if you have really big hits, and then it's really tougher. But you know, when it has worked for some bands, that the singer has died or something, so there's no way, like AC/DC, they changed the singer, but it worked both ways. But there was no other alternative to do it that way. But it's really hard, you know. It takes a lot of things off from there, and in our stuff, especially when Jyrki does all the lyrics, and it's like his stuff that. But I think like in Nightwish, it's Thomas who's writing all the songs, and it's like his thing, you know, his songs and all the melodies. And we anyway work as me and Jyrki do the most of the songs, so that's also one part.
Okay. Then, which band would you like to take a look behind the curtains?
That's a hard one. I don't know. I think there is nothing in it with any band that would be like something I wouldn't expect. But I have to say something. I don't know. It's some I've seen them anyway. You know, I was saying some bigger arena touring band, but I've seen those things also. But maybe it's more like I would like to see the whole production thing, like from big stadium shows, how they do it and how it's gonna like works out. And because these kind of things, you know, it's a little familiar. It's just different people there. I don't think there's. But you know, some bands which work in a bigger venue, and you know, I'm more interested in how the production is done, how everything's arranged, because this is really familiar. This club things, you know. I've seen many bands, but you know, we are only human. It's the same. Yeah. Everybody's doing the same thing anyway. So, yeah. But of course, there are some, you know, it's more like, you know, if you like some band and music, it's more like maybe it would be like meeting the people there, you know, not like sneaking and what they do. But there are bands. But I won't say I cannot say one artist or whatever. I would like this that much to see. Sometimes it's better you don't meet. You don't meet all the. If you like some artists, you don't. Sometimes it can be a letdown. Yeah. So that's my answer. So.
Then, what was the funniest interview or the funniest moment during an interview you ever had?
Funniest, yeah. Now my head is empty.
Oh, come on, that's not true.
Yeah, but it's like nothing comes to my mind now. But funniest. It's like I don't do that much the interview, so we should have asked you. But I've seen when I would say that Jyrki falling asleep during the interview.
No, really?
Yeah.
Why did you fall asleep during an interview?
Yeah, but no napping like but yeah, sometimes that was like I've seen that. That was quite funny.
Okay, that's really funny.
Yeah.
So when you're on tour, do you have the time to take a sightseeing tour in the city you are?
Depending, yeah, sometimes. You know, not today as we were the signing, but yeah, I try to get some. Depending if there's venues in the city or not, but I try to go and have some walk around. And then we have day offs, and then it's more like, you know. But that's something I really want to do, you know, as often as possible. Because it's getting like when you're on the bus, go to venue, it's really like getting boring at some point. Mm-hmm. You have to get out from have your own, like, you know, how to say, have your own time. Just go like for a walk by yourself and because you're all the time surrounded with people and in the bus, and you know you don't have your. So that's important that way, to have your own little space at least for an hour in a day. Yeah.
Sounds good. So can you recommend maybe a club or a bar in Helsinki which is really good, and especially for maybe the rock and metal scene?
They are like, there's the best place to go and see the bands is Club Tavastia Club there. We played there actually in December. And then there is another club, Nosturi, where actually we rehearse at the same building. And a lot of bands rehearse that there is a venue. Then there is this bar, backstage bar, where Josi is actually like hosting there some. Mm-hmm. That's like rock bar. There are also bands there on 2 floors, and so it's a good place to go and have some drinks. And I would say those 3 places. Of course, there are smaller bars, and you know, but those places you can find when you go there. Every day something happens at Tavastia Club and Bar Backeri. There's every day something happening here. So. Yeah.
So, is there a difference between the German metal scene and the Finnish metal scene?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Of course, maybe it's Finland is a small country that not everybody knows everybody, but it's more like it's more somebody knows somebody from other bands, so maybe it's more like a smaller community that way. But of course, it's a different kind of music. I was like listening to more metal like earlier, but now it's like I'm not too familiar with all this really extreme metal. Even though I like thrash metal that when it originally came out, and you have in Germany it's like this is a good thing, and in Finland would be like in the last 5 years it's more like bands like in Finland have metal bands that take the influences from the folk, like folk music or whatever, have this violence and different, same as you have here, but it's a different tradition. You take it from German tradition, so that doesn't mean that that's a different. And it's good. What I've noticed that there are many bands that take the influences from the unexpected sources.
So then let me ask you. Is there a difference between buying alcohol in Germany and in Finland? Because I know in Finland it's a little bit more. It's a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's only like you have to go this alcohol, which is where the store where you can buy, and it's restricted quite a lot, and it's expensive. So it's a taxes there. But it's easy to get beer and stuff like. But it's definitely like here you can. It's much more easier. But I don't mind. I'm not going every day and buying some alcohol in the store, so it's fine.
Really? Are you telling the truth?
Yeah, every other day. No.
Okay.
But that doesn't bother me. I think it was a long time, like 20 years ago. It was. Then you couldn't get any beer from anywhere. It's like a. Nowadays you can get every kiosk, So it's much more like a loser to get it now. Even Sundays, because then you could get it on Sundays. So yeah, but it's in Sweden. It's still like you can even buy a beer from the grocery store. You have to go to this system there, which is same as alcohol in Finland, where you can buy booze, and that's the only place you're going to buy beer, strong beer, in Sweden. So Sweden is like really.
Is Sweden cheaper than Finland when it comes to beer?
No. Finland used to be really expensive in that sense, but I think it's Norway and Sweden, they are more expensive than Finland nowadays.
So, then we come to the last question, and I want to know your all-time favorite band. You can choose maximum 6 members, and I want to know which role they would play in the band and who it is and which band they're from. They can be dead or alive, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Let's say singer would be... bass player would be Lemmy from Motorhead. Let's start from there. Then another guitar player would be Billy Duffy from The Cult. Another guitar player would say that's a hard one. Maybe let's say Angus Young from AC/DC is not a guitar player. And singer and drummer missing. Okay, let's put Tommy Lee from Mötley Crüe for the drums, and then singer would be. That's a hard one. Let me think. I would have like two vocalists. One Scott from AC/DC and Jim Morrison from The Doors. So.
Really good decision.
Yeah, because they're unreliable. Whoever is most drunk, less drunk, they are notorious being so drunk. So.
But Lemmy was drunk.
Yeah, but you have to have those two guys because either one is too drunk, then they can replace.
How would you say I'm drunk in Finnish?
Olen kännissä.
Okay, then. Thank you for the interview, and I have a little present for the end from the website we're doing the interview for.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, cool.
I hope you liked it. So, thank you. So, any last words for your fans?
Sorry?
Any last words for your fans?
Thank you for being there and letting me be here. Because without you, we wouldn't be here. So thanks for being supportive. And we will coming here to Germany after this tour. At least 3 festivals we could play. Exeter's Festival, Velvetic Treff and Merrill this year. So we're gonna see you there and come and say hello to me wherever you see me.
Thank you.
Cool.